If you want to play Minecraft with your friends, but you don't understand server hosting, RAM, plugins, mods, or IP addresses, this video is for you. Because today I'm gonna rent a server together with you live here in this video and explain you everything you need to know about renting your own Minecraft server. So, I think we can already start. Right now I'm at the Pine Hosting website. To get here, make sure to use the link in the video description. Then you will end up on this website here. So then we can go on all games or plans, like you have multiple options to get to the Minecraft servers, and we're gonna choose Minecraft here. Now you have some presets here, but if you don't know anything about server hosting, you can't do anything. This is not for you. So yeah. If you want to learn how to do it, we're gonna go on view pricing, or for example custom plan to view pricing, so it's basically the same, but now we're gonna configure our own server for our needs. So first of all, you have to choose the billing cycle. Obviously, the bigger the billing cycle is, the cheaper the server will be. You see now it will go down to €8.10, which is much less per month than €3, but this is not important here. Yeah, now the RAM. This is basically the power of your server. So if you play alone, you don't need that much RAM. But if you play with 20 friends, you need more RAM. I would recommend you can basically choose the number of RAM based on the amount of players playing on your server. So for example, if you're gonna play solo, 1 gigabyte RAM should be okay. And if you play with 5 friends or 6 friends, I would choose 6 GB. If you want to make sure that if you play with 6 friends and everything runs smoothly, even with bigger builds, etc., you can go up to 8 to 10 GB, but make sure you can always upgrade it later on. So I would recommend, if you play with 6 people, choose 6 GB RAM for the start, and if you see, okay, it's gonna start lagging, you can upgrade this at any time. It takes just 30 seconds upgrading it, and I will also show you in the video how to upgrade it. So I'm gonna just choose 2 GB RAM for just showcasing it to you. Then the CPU boost is also, yeah, how the chunk loading, etc. Normal boost should be fine if you don't plan and some extreme modding things on your server. Like, yeah, if you do build like a big factory in different mods or something, or build super big farms, you can use the CPU boost. But normally the CPU boost on normal should be fine for normal servers. So this we don't need. You can leave it at 25 GB. Then you obviously have to choose a server location. If you're from the UK, choose UK. If you're from the US, choose the closest city here. I'm from Germany, so I'm obviously gonna choose Germany here. And yeah, so very self-explaining. You can also add some additional services, so it's like free server migration. This will migrate your old server to this server here. We don't want to do it, but it's for free, so yeah, you can do it, because I will just show you how to set up this server and explain everything to you. This is some addition you can do for free. So after we've set everything up here, we can go and continue. And here we are now. We got a small summary of our server. Here you can see again the gigabyte and etc. what you need. Now you can enter a promo code. We're gonna use the code Regund here, so we get our 30% off. You see, you just have to type it in, and it also accumulates with other discounts, so make sure to always use it even if there's a big discount going on. And then you either have to create a new account if you haven't registered yourself on Pine Hosting yet, but we have an account, so we don't have to do it. So we're gonna use our existing customer login. And after you've logged in, you can use a different payment method. Yeah, PayPal is most likely the easiest for you, but you can also use credit or debit card or cryptocurrency. Don't think many of you will use crypto, so most likely you're gonna use PayPal here. So I will quickly log in, and after I've checked out, I will show you how to set up your server. So now our order is placed, and we can continue to the client area. And then we will end up here. Now I have different servers here. For example, this one, I've just did a small test here, so ignore this. But this 60 monthly server is our server, so we're gonna click on that. So now we are at our server here. You see a summary of everything of the server here again and here. Before we go to our panel, you can see the upgrade and downgrade options here. As already mentioned, you can choose a higher gigabyte RAM now. It would just take us seconds, and click to continue, and then we would have to purchase it. So we don't have to change anything here now, but if you want to change, this is super easy and done within like 10 seconds of now. So we're gonna go back to service details. And then we're gonna go to panel. So if you haven't got an account yet, now you will get an email, so you have to register here. I already have an account, so I'm gonna log in here. And here we are. This should be our server that we've just set up. So we're gonna click on it. This is the older server. And it's offline now. So now you can simply press start if you want to start your server immediately. But we want to go into the settings for now, so we have everything set up that we want. So this is our console. We don't need this for now. Here in files, this you will need for server migration, etc. If you have a server in the world here, you can see the settings of your server or like go into the world folder, but you don't need to change anything here. Especially if you don't have experience, don't do anything here. So this, you can simply ignore files here. Then versions. Here you can choose, for example, a paper server. If you want to play paper or Forge or Fabric, you can use this. If you don't know about the versions, you should watch an extra an extra video about that, because I can't. This is just too much to explain in one video. But yeah, we're gonna continue with my vanilla. This is the normal Minecraft you can play. Then we have mod packs, and on Pine Hosting it's super easy to install mods because you can search for the mod here. Now you can just go through here or Google for mods that you want to have on your server and just click install, and then you can simply install it immediately on your server. So this is super easy to do, especially on Pine Hosting. It just takes one click to install your mods here. So then we have the schedules. Here you can simply go on view templates and daily backup. I definitely recommend getting the daily restart and the daily backup. Why? Because the daily restart is just very important, so the server can restart once a day and it won't start lagging. Because if you don't restart your server for several days, it will start lagging, and the restart can fix this problem. I would also recommend you getting a daily backup. Why? Because let's say you're playing on a world and something goes wrong. You're getting bugged and you can't save yourself. You can simply load the backup of the previous day and save your server, or someone destroyed something. Someone hacked your server and joined and destroyed everything. You can just load the backup. So this is very important. So besides that, we don't have to do much in schedules. As mentioned, you can just choose this and it will automatically be preset here. Same for the backup. So very easy. So then we have users here. Here you can create a user and type in his email so he gets access to the console here. So for example, if you play with friends and you're going on vacation, but you still want your friends to have access to the server settings, if they manually want to restart the server or whatever, you can type in their email here, so they also have to register, or you can invite them, and then you can give them permissions for your server. Obviously you can choose everything what they can do, for example backups, etc. So yeah, this is also very self-explaining. Here we have the backups. Right now we don't have any backups because we just created the server, but you can also manually create a backup. I would definitely recommend this, especially before you install a mod on an existing world. So let's assume you've played for 10 weeks on a world and now you want to install a mod. Then definitely create a backup beforehand, because in case something goes wrong with the server is getting corrupt because the mod is not working or whatever, it can quickly happen. Create a manual server backup. You can also name it, for example, before mod XYZ, and then start a backup. So now it will create a backup of the server, and you can load it if in case you're gonna delete your server. Then we're gonna go into easy configurations. Message of the day. This is unimportant. It's just a message of the day. Here it will just pop up on the server. Maximum players that you can increase. Game mode, you can go into spectator, creative, whatever difficulty. You can change it to normal, for example, or if you want to farm totems in a raid farm, you can set it to hard. Then you can turn on hardcore for game mode. You also always have these small question marks here, so everything will be explained. So here, for example, forces players to join in the default game mode. The default game mode would be here. So if you put it into creative or survival and you turn this on, people will be forced to join in survival. This is very important, especially if you have like a community server or something, that no one can change into creative or so. PvP enabled, then this is self-explaining. Online mode, definitely keep this online because it will just verify that there are real players on your server and no one doing shady stuff. Then you can give your world a name, for example, Regund's world. You can choose a world seed. So if you don't know what a seed is, if you go on the world, type in /seed, you will get the seed of the world. So basically where the water is generated, where the monuments are, etc. So there are millions of seeds. You can also go and check out some YouTube videos for cool seeds, but then you can simply type it in here. This would just be like a number like that. But if you don't type anything in here, it will just be randomly generated, so you can simply leave it open here. A spawn protection radius, so if someone spawns, he can simply won't be killed at the spawn directly. The maximum world size, this should be more than enough. You can turn on a whitelist, so only players that are on the whitelist can actually join the server. This is sometimes very helpful if you have problems with random people joining a server, even if you have a password or something. A low flight, I would definitely leave this turned off because if you don't play creative or so, you don't need flight. Spawn monsters, spawn NPCs, self-explaining. Enforce whitelist kicks players that are not on the whitelist when whitelist is reloaded. Then enable command blocks, definitely leave this turned off if you don't know how to use command blocks. Spawn enemies and requires resource pack. Alright, then you can here OP permission level, you don't have to change anything here. Performance settings, here you can choose the view distance and the simulation distance. Yeah, obviously the higher you set this, if you put this to 100 for example, the players can view for 100 blocks, which will impact the server performance. So here, if you increase these numbers here, you might need an upgrade for your server, but 10 should be fine for most people. Alright, then we have saved this here. Then we're gonna go on startup. Here you don't have to do anything, so just leave it as it is. If this is just some, like I would say, advanced settings that you don't need as a beginner. If you really want to go deeper into that, you have to watch other YouTube videos, but this is for beginners and this is like advanced server settings. Then we have the normal settings here, the server address, the username of yourself, and some other settings. You don't have to change anything here. Then we go into the logs. If something happens, like right now we haven't started the server yet, so nothing happens here. But here, for example, if your friend's gonna join the server, you can search the logs for the player name, and then you can see when did someone join and when did he left the server. So this is also very helpful, like on community servers, did someone cheated or whatever. So the logs are helpful, but you don't need them, especially if you're a beginner. You normally don't go into the logs. Here, for example, the activity, this is something, especially if you're on vacation, you can see who did change some settings on your servers. For example, this is my username here. So you can see, okay, I viewed these contents, I wrote new content. So you see I was active and changed settings here. So yeah, normally you don't use this, but if multiple people have access to the server and someone is messing up the server, you can check everything here who did it. Then you have some templates if you want some free-for-all, lifesteal SMP, hyper skyblock, medieval survival. So you can simply install them or buy them depending on what template you want to use. But yeah, I haven't played any of these, so I can't tell you if these are good. Obviously, you can simply Google it, I'm pretty sure, and you will see, okay, if the duels PvP templates is cool or not. But yeah. Then these settings here are not for the server itself, here billing, etc. So we don't have to use these. If we go into the console now, we can simply start the server. Now it will take a second. Obviously we can also restart our server here. Yeah, if the server's lagging, just go here and restart it manually. Or if a hacker joins the server, you quickly have to shut it down, just press stop and the server will immediately stop running. So now we need this IP. This is super important because without this IP, we can't join our server. You can simply click it and then it will automatically be copied. The server is online, by the way, after a few seconds already. Now we have to accept this here. And now we go into the game. So now we are in the game. We can click multiplayer now and either choose direct connect and type in your server address and join server. But we want to add our server, so we're going to call it Regund Fun Server, and then type in the server address. You can give the server the name you want, so this is just name you give the server, so you can choose any name here. And then we're going to choose done, and then we're going to see, okay, 0 out of 20 players. We can double click it and join our servers, and then we should spawn any second. There we go. Alright, now we are on our server and we can normally start playing like you always play Minecraft. If your friends would also join now, they would also spawn in this radius here. So multiple people can also join the server now. It's online now. As long as it's online, everyone can play on it, even if you are not playing actively on it. But then, after we've started our server, we can go back into the settings here. And then if we're gonna go into the logs here, for example, and gonna refresh it, you're gonna see, okay, remake joined the game, for example, and remake login with entity, etc, etc. So yeah, now you can check out the logs, but yeah, nothing special here that we have to check. You also see it in the console, by the way. So I hope this helped you for setting up your own first server. Make sure to use the link in the video description and also use the code Regund at the checkout to get a 30% discount. And if you have any questions that I haven't talked about in this video, make sure to ask them in the comments. I promise you I'm gonna answer them. And then, yeah, have a great day and see you in my next video. Bye!